The tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. The tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. Red leather, yellow leather, red leather.
Hey guys, welcome back. I know it's been a while. We've been so ridiculously busy. We've been trying to get at least one video out a week, but I know it's been a little bit easier said than done. We have been working, work has still been taking place, and I'm gonna get to that in just a little bit. I wanna talk a little bit about the video in which Adrian approached me asking if I would be interested in doing a hardcore band. So far, I've done my part. Since then, I've actually written 3 songs. We're pretty happy so far with the path, the route we're taking. This video is gonna be a little bit about kind of just my personal process and what do I do to write a song, a little bit about kind of where we are right now. Some people might wonder, well, what is the process? What do you do? How do you write a song? How do you create a guitar riff? Where does it all begin? I know depending on who you are, certain artists, they do things differently. I don't care if it's something mellow, if it's something pretty, if it's electronic. I don't care if I start off with the bass first, or if I start off with the drum beat first, or if I start off with the guitar riff. But I will say that when you write heavy music, which is what we're doing, for me, it's always something that starts with the guitar first. It's something that begins with just creating a good guitar riff. It's not a whole lot of thought that goes into it. It's just literally sitting down, playing your guitar, just messing around and see what sounds good and what doesn't. And when you find something that sounds good, you play it over and over again, and then you find out what sounds good to go after that. I use a click track and I'll just start writing to that click track. I'm a real believer if you're gonna go heavy, you gotta maintain that heaviness. At least try to. Bridges are good to kind of bring it down. But if you're gonna go heavy the way I like heavy, it's all about just keeping it fast, heavy. So what I do is I just sit there and I jam. I just fiddle with the guitar. Whatever, just mess around. Don't even remember the song anymore. As you can tell, sometimes I don't even remember my own songs. From the writing process to the recording process to getting everybody else's parts done. By the time it comes down to rehearsal, if I don't rehearse the songs beforehand, I forget what they sound like. I forget everything that I wrote. But it doesn't take a lot to remember. Real quick, I wanted to show this guitar. This is a Gibson Les Paul. I love my Gibson Les Paul. I'm all about Gibson guitars. For this kind of music, sometimes it can be a little bit too noisy at times. You can hear the pickup. It's just very noisy. Every little tiny thing is picked up with this guitar. And it's because of these pickups. Picks up everything because of these pickups. Yeah. I love the noisiness of it. You hear all that noise? Even when there's a drop, even, you know, something like that, I like the noise in between. I don't know, I'm not a fan of the silence and the perfect sounding, almost robotic, distorted guitar. I like there to be some sort of dirtiness to it, if that makes any sense. See, if you notice when I hit that note, see, some guitar players or even producers just want that note to be pure. But when I hit extra strings accidentally, or well, seemingly accidentally, see how it gives it that? Just gives it that. It just sounds so much better. So if I'm gonna accidentally hit those extra strings a couple of times while I'm playing that riff, to me it sounds great. So Gibson Les Paul, my guitar of choice, love it. For this band, I'm gonna tune to B, drop B. That's why it sounds so just deep. love that. Standard tuning E is cool, but for me, when it comes to trying to get that heaviness, that thickness, you can't do it with an E. It has to be dropped. If I have a really good riff, I'll record that riff to the click track and then I'll let it play, and every time that riff ends, I'll try to see what works after that, and I'll keep writing along those lines. Second thing I like to add generally is either the bass or the drums, depending on just kind of how I'm feeling. Sometimes in certain songs you need those drums in order to put some good bass lines. You want those bass lines to kind of follow the drums at times. So sometimes it's good to add the drum after you do the guitar and then the bass next. But sometimes you come up with awesome bass lines and you can end up putting those bass lines and then adding the drums to it later on. When I record in the studio, the way I have it set up is everything I do is what we call a scratch track. A scratch track is where, for example, if I come up with a good riff that I like, I will record it just good enough to be able to put the bass over it and just good enough to put the drums over it. Everything will be perfectly in time, hence the reason why we use the click track. But it's just, for example, when the vocals need to be done, they'll have something to sing over, but nothing is complete. I'm real big on production. I'm real big on making things sound awesome. I like it to sound big. I'll do everything scratch, then I'll bring in whoever's gonna sing. In this case, it's Adrian. We'll try to get those vocals down as perfect as we possibly can. Once those are done, then I'll go back, redo the guitars, redo the bass, redo the drums if I need to get everything to sound exactly how I want it to be production-wise. And so right now with the 3 songs that we have, everything is considered a scratch track. Everything. With that being said, I brought Adrian in to do vocals and things didn't pan out the way we had intended. Let me explain. A lot of people think that doing hardcore music and screaming, that it's easy. I can play a lot of instruments. I can play guitar, I can play bass, I can play drums, I can play piano pretty good, keyboards. I can't sing for the life of me, and especially when it comes to screaming, there's no way. It's an art. It's something that actually takes a lot to do. I've worked with a lot of singers, and I don't think I've ever worked with a singer who just came in and said, I can do that, never tried it before, and was able to do it the first time. It's something that takes practice. And not only does it take practice, it takes upkeep. You've got to maintain your ability to do that. You know, you've got to do exercises. You've got to keep your voice warmed up. You've got to, on a regular basis, you've got to be doing whatever it takes to keep your voice sounding good. And that's kind of the problem that we encountered just about a week or 2 ago when Adrian came in to lay down his vocal parts.
No, that was too no, it was too forced. I used to be able to do it to where I didn't have to close my eyes.
I'm not gonna lie, this light is not helping me.
Stop making excuses, Adrian.
I forgot how to do it. I forgot how to scream, dude. I forgot how to do the like I used to.
Try it. If you don't get it, we'll go back. We'll keep doing that first line over and over again until you feel more comfortable with it.
All right. Now I'm too much in my head. Just keep playing it. Just keep going. Whew, I almost passed out on that one. No, it's not it, dude. That's not it. That's not it. I know I can do it better. Why'd you stop?
When he first started trying to scream or to sing, he struggled a little bit at first. He couldn't do it. He realized he went through what every singer goes through. They go through a learning curve where they have to realize that, okay, it seems easy, but it really isn't. He got pretty good at it. He got pretty confident in himself. But it's been a long time. He realized that after all these years of not keeping up with his voice, it kind of backfired on him. We're not gonna end this project by any means, but what we realized is that he needed to take the time to go back to revisit those things that he did to train his voice to be able to hold up. It's not an easy thing, guys. We both figured, we'll come in, he'll knock it out in about 30 minutes to an hour. But we quickly realized that sometimes our bodies don't cooperate. People think that when you scream, it's all from the throat, but there's a lot more to it. Within the span of a couple of hours, we had to call it quits because we realized that it was gonna take a little bit more than just bringing him in, getting him to just scream. He is working on developing his voice again to be able to handle what it takes. We're gonna document the process no matter what happens. There's a lot to it. Musicians can make things look easy, but sometimes it's not that easy. I've been in studios with singers who have just completely lost their voice and have had to take weeks just to recoup. But either way, we're gonna keep working at it. Screaming, hardcore music, all this stuff, it's not easy. It's not an easy thing to do, and our video kind of is a testament to that. So I don't see this as a fail. I see this as simply a minor setback. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe, like, share. See you guys next time.